Greetings, I'm Craig Smyser with 1835 Realty, and I am at Frog and the Bull. And I am sure you are already aware of their new slogan, which is, "We catch bank robbers." So what happened? Well, if you haven't heard, yesterday the Chase Bank at the front of the neighborhood was robbed, and the guy who did it left on foot. The police came, they even had a helicopter out at some point, but they never found the guy and presumed he had gotten away. Well, last night, something happened at Frog and the Bull, and Adam, one of the bartenders here, was the guy who we needed at the right spot at the right time. I'm gonna let him tell the story.
So at approximately 7:45 p.m., a gentleman entered the bar area, and he was wearing nothing but a bathrobe and was obviously half naked from underneath, with his one hand underneath his robe, and with the other gestured for me to approach him from behind the bar. And when I did, the gentleman asked me if he could borrow my phone to call his sister, and said that he had been in an accident. Well, I observed that he had dried blood around his nose and mouth area. So I asked him if he needed 911 assistance, and he said no, he didn't need 911 assistance, that he just needed to call his sister for a ride. So my instincts told me that there was something very, very wrong. So I immediately just agreed with him and said, okay, I'll go ahead and grab my phone for you so that you can go ahead and call your sister. And in the process, told him I needed to take a phone call first and dialed 911. And when dispatch answered, I said, there's a gentleman standing right in front of me, so I have to be very discreet, but I need police immediately. I described the man, and she immediately stopped me and said, does he have a tattoo that resembles or is of a spider web on his face or head area? And I said, yes, he does. She said, okay, I need you to tell me everything in detail, what he's wearing and what his movements are and where he's going. And just about that time, he had borrowed a phone from one of our patrons, and I guess made the phone call to his sister, upon which he arranged for a ride home. So he walked outside to wait for his sister and paced the parking lot several times while I was on the phone with dispatch. And she asked me where he was at that point, and I said outside. She said, go to the door and lock it immediately. She said, do it right now. So I did. I went ahead and complied with that request, and shortly thereafter, police and fire arrived. Fire being first on scene, followed shortly thereafter by police officers, and at which time he was standing right outside of our patio area waiting for his ride home. Police took him into custody very readily and without incident. So after the man was apprehended, I spoke with police and told them what my story was, and they then confirmed that he was in fact the person that they had been looking for in conjunction with the incident previously, as far as the bank robbery went that day.
That's awesome. I mean, that's crazy. I can't even imagine you had such the presence of mind to get that call made to 911 while he's just standing in front of you. Tell us a bit about your background and, kind of what just, is there something particular that triggered that for you?
Well, having been in the bar industry for a long time, there's a lot that goes on in the alcohol scene, obviously, that does require 911 assistance. So it hasn't been the first time that I've had to call police for incidences such as that. And he was obviously out of place. There was something wrong, and I knew that almost immediately. My background is not only in the bar industry, and having been in situations like this previously, not necessarily bank robberies, but others. But my father's also a retired detective, and raised us boys to be very vigilant, and always said, better safe than sorry. If something's wrong, call. Always call. And police appreciate that as well. Even if there isn't anything wrong, people should always call the police before second guessing whether or not they need to. because they don't mind responding to make sure that things are safe and in place for the citizens of the community.
Awesome. Well, that's great. Well, anything else that you want to add?
Other than even in safe feeling communities, people must be vigilant, stay on your feet, and keep your head on a swivel at all times. If things look out of place, always call 911.
All right, sounds good. And you're going to be here behind the bar tonight?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, Steiner, come on out, say hi, say thank you. Most of all, that was awesome. And we appreciate everything and look forward to seeing you soon.
See y'all soon.